The state suffered its worst day of the pandemic, recording 291 new infections. The Premier says case numbers may rise even further in the coming days, but a new model is being introduced to ensure Year 12 students will sit their high school certificate exams.
Another record day for all the wrong reasons. 291 new cases, the state's highest daily caseload since the start of the pandemic.
I do want to foreshadow that given this high number of cases, we're likely to see this trend continue for the next few days. So I do want everybody to prepare themselves for higher case numbers in the next few days.
The Premier warning residents should also prepare for active cases to remain for months to come.
Given where the numbers are, given the experience of Delta overseas, that we now have to live with Delta in one way or another, and that's pretty obvious. And the higher the vaccination rate, the safer we all are and the more free we all will be.
Year 12 students will be the first to shift to those Delta settings under a new learning model for the HSC. Trial exams and assessments will be completed at home for all Greater Sydney schools. But hope remains for the actual HSC to occur in schools. Students from the 8 hotspot councils will be offered a Pfizer jab from Monday at Qudos Bank Arena.
This is your big chance to really go for gold and to star next week. You're getting an opportunity that so many others haven't yet managed to achieve, and it's there for you, and it's there for you to really light up your future by having your safety and security looked after.
The vaccine crusade again extended to the public.
Really, literally send out a call to arms to all arms in New South Wales. Please come forward and get vaccinated. I can't stress that enough.
There are 304 cases in hospital, 50 in ICU, 22 requiring ventilation. Of the 50 in intensive care, 44 are unvaccinated.
The science tells us the jab reduces the spread, it keeps people out of hospital, and it gives us choices in how we live freely moving into the future.
An unvaccinated woman in her 60s has died at Liverpool Hospital after becoming exposed by a healthcare worker. It's the second death linked to the hospital, her death taking the outbreak toll to 22.
We know how the transmission occurred, how the exposure happened, and again, my apologies to the family.
Transmission is a continuing cause for concern in workplaces that remain open and exempt from the shutdown. 12 staff at a KFC at Punchbowl in Sydney's southwest have contracted COVID after a positive case visited the fast food franchise.
Once it gets into a workplace, and remember you are infectious before you have symptoms, and then each of those 12 people will go back to their households.
Anyone who's visited the venue between July 27 and August 8 must isolate for 2 weeks, regardless of their test result. Despite Sydney's COVID outbreak peaking on day 42 of its lockdown and the worst yet to come, the Premier is pointing to some positives.
Fortunately, we have an additional tool we didn't have a year ago, and that is a vaccine. 2022 will be much, much better than 2021 or 2020 because our population will have a high rate of vaccination.
Jessica Maggio, Sky News.